Happy Sunday, everybody. So we're gonna start off with next week's live class schedule. So it's the same as the previous week. We're doing Monday at 9:30 a.m. Tuesday at 1 p.m. we have an express class. That's with the Laurier crew. So to find that Zoom link, check out their Instagram page. It's at WLU Recreation on Instagram. They'll have the Zoom ID. They just changed their Zoom ID, so every month they change it. So they just changed it. So definitely, if you've been using the old one, you'll have to find a new one. And then Tuesday we are doing a 5:45 p.m. class, second week in a row of doing that class. It's a new time made available based on your guys' requests. Then we got Wednesday 4:30 p.m. and Friday at 11:45 a.m. Notice they're all going to be on Zoom, except for the Laurier Express class. To sign up for any of our classes, just go to our regular schedule on MindBody as you did before this whole shutdown did. Sign up for it. You'll get a link emailed to you about anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes before the class starts, which is why there's a 30-minute sign-up window. Also, this week we posted a compilation a couple days ago of the Quarantine Lifestyle Nutrition Challenge, which we did. This is the start of, or we're just ending week 1 today, actually. So the start of week 2 starts tomorrow. We had a Zoom seminar, and we made a little compilation video of some good golden nuggets, as Yash put it yesterday, of information, stuff that you might find useful with zoning in on the ideal diet for you. I'm going to pass it over to Yash for today's workout.
Alright guys, so short and sweet, AMRAP 12, starting off with 25-foot handstand walk. Handstand walk, if you want, you can also scale it down to a bear walk, or if you have another variation you like to use, you can do that as well. If you don't have that access, you guys can go for 10 alternating shoulder taps as well. So that can be from the push-up, from the dive bomber, or even from the handstand position. Then we're going to go into 75 foot of walking lunges. If you don't have the distance or you're tight in space, let's just go 30 lunges on the spot, alternating. Finally, going to go for 25 sit-ups there. So all body weight, you don't really need any equipment for this. 12 minutes, you want to just keep that pace going. This is more of, the skill is going to be on that handstand walk. The walking lunges and the sit-ups are where you're going to get that heart rate up. So if you want to take your time a little bit here, that's good, it's cool. Go a little bit faster on these last 2 movements to keep your heart rate up. I would say try to aim for about 3 to 4 rounds approximately. If you're more comfortable with the movements, especially the handstand walk, you might be able to get to that 5th and 6th round. So other than that, guys, I'm going to pass it over to Chris for the afterburner.
Okay, for today's afterburner, we are doing a 2-minute accumulated L-sit. So this is meant to be quite tough. We're going to be breaking up that 2 minutes into lots of intervals. Probably, if you can hold it for about 15 seconds at a time, 15 to 30 seconds at a time, you're in that right range. So you don't want to go with something like, when you scale this, we're going to go over that in the demo video. You don't want to pick anything that's going to be too easy, where you can do like a whole minute and a half or the 2 minutes unbroken. We're meant to challenge you here. This is going to be really tough on the core. This is one of my favorite movements for blasting those core muscles. We'll see you for the warm-up next.
Alright, so we're here for the warm-up, guys. We're going to start off with some mobility for the wrist before we get into the handstand stuff and anything after that. So for the wrist mobility, guys, it's going to be kind of hard for you to see on the ground as I do it, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to focus on one wrist at a time, and we're going to get into a stretch position, so where we feel a stretch in the wrist. Then we're going to push down with our hands into the floor for 10 seconds. Then we're going to think about pulling our hand off the ground for 10 seconds. So to set up, guys, simply just one hand on the floor here. We're going to lean over until we feel a little bit of a stretch and it's comfortable. It's not like it's pain. You're not feeling any pain there. Then, as you're in this position for the 40 seconds, 10 seconds of pushing down with your hands into the ground, and then 10 seconds of pushing up. Make sure you don't back off or you're not in the stretch position. So if you start pulling your hands off the ground like this, you're not really getting a benefit off of it. So make sure you're in that stretch position, feeling a stretch in the forearm and the wrist. Then you can start your intervals of going 10 seconds down, 10 seconds off. So you're going to do 40 seconds on one wrist and then 40 seconds on the other. Once you're done from there, we're going to get into one set here, starting off with 20 pike sit-ups. So you guys can do use your ab mat or roll up a t-shirt to help give you that lumbar curve. For the pike sit-up, guys, we're gonna keep the legs nice and straight. And we're gonna come up and try and reach for that stretch. So going all the way back, coming up, reaching for those toes, hold it for a quick second. 20 reps here. First 10 could be nice and slow. Next 10 you can speed it up to get that heart rate up. Once you're done with that 20 pike sit-up exercise, guys, we're gonna go into 10 steps of that bear walk, or we can just go for those shoulder taps. So bear walk, guys, we're gonna go into a wide stance with their feet, there, hands in front of us but closer to the push-up stance. And then we're gonna bring the opposite limb, and so like the hand and the foot forward. Then we're gonna start by leading with the hand and the opposite leg forward. So it's always opposite as we're moving. We're gonna go 10 steps. Be creative with this, guys. If you have a little bit of room, you can go in a circle or go forward and back. 10 steps here. Once you're done that, we're gonna go into our sit-ups again. Let's go straddle position. You can feel that stretch in that groin and that lower back. So wide with your feet. We're gonna go back, come up, reach as far as we can. And we're gonna again feel that stretch in the groin. Once you've done that straddle sit-up, we're gonna do that bear walk again, 10 steps, or we can go for those shoulder taps from the push-up position. Then we're gonna go into some lateral lunges. So 20 lateral lunges, going into a wide stance. We're gonna keep the feet planted to the floor, toes, heels planted in the ground. We're gonna go as low as possible, keeping the back and chest up tall, and then drive up through that leg to really feel in that adductor, and also you'll feel a stretch on the opposing leg there. So 20 of these reps, alternate, or you can do 10 on one side, 10 on the other. Then we're gonna go again for that walk again with the bear walk, or if you want shoulder taps, or even go for your handstand steps if you feel good that you're warmed up for it. Then last lunging movement here, guys, we're just gonna go for those lunges that we'll do in the workout. So when we're lunging, guys, you're gonna step forward, keep that front shin so it's long enough that that front shin is vertical to the floor, back knees touching the ground, and I'm gonna drive off that front foot to stand up my lunge. So 20 reps there, you can alternate and go 10 on one side. Just keep those key points. Shins vertical, and that chest is tall. You're driving through that heel to stand it up. Once you do those 20 lunges, let's finish off with one more set of that bear walk or those handstand steps. We'll see you guys next for more of the movement details later on.
Okay guys, so for today's workout we have a 12-minute AMRAP. As Yash mentioned in the demonstration, we're doing a 25-foot handstand walk. If you can't do the handstand walking yet, we're just going to work on the shoulder taps. And then you're going to do a 75-foot walking lunge. If you don't have the length, just go for 30 alternating lunges. And then we're going to end off with 25 sit-ups. The handstand walking and the shoulder tapping, that's going to maybe go a little bit slower. The other stuff you want to get moving a little bit quicker on. Get that heart rate a little elevated and keep it moving. So for the shoulder taps, I'm going to walk you guys through it first from the top of the dive bomber, just so you guys can kind of get a visual of what it looks like. You might want to even stay in that position. You can also use a wall for this one, which I'll also show you guys. So if you guys are doing the dive bomber, you're going to think about getting your head through the window, and then you're going to walk out that upper back. From here, you're going to lean to one side ever so slightly, touch your shoulder, back to neutral, touch the shoulder on the other side, and you're just going to go back and forth. You guys can also do this with your feet elevated on a box or like a chair or something like that. So sometimes we do our handstand push-up modification from there. We're also going to give you guys the option of using a wall. If you're using a wall, we're going to start off with a wall climb to get yourselves inverted. Now, with that wall climb here, guys, get as close to that wall as you want. So based on your comfort level, you might be a little bit away from the wall. You might be able to get right up to the wall. If you guys can't, when I showed you guys the shoulder taps alternating from the top of the dive bomber, I was actually touching my shoulders. When you're in that inverted position, it's gonna be a little bit trickier. So you might wanna start by just, picture me upside down right now, just releasing my arms from side to side. So I'm not actually touching the shoulder, I'm just kind of releasing side to side. We're just teaching you guys basically how to shift your weight from one side to the other while upside down. So, as mentioned, you're gonna start off into the wall, walking yourselves up, walking yourselves up. From here, just learn to shift from side to side. Keep that rib cage tucked in, butt tight, and eventually you can get those hands to touch the shoulders side to side with control. The most common issue we see with this one is that lower back really overarching as you get tired or as you add speed. So if you notice when I did the first couple, I took a second or two in between each rep, or not quite a full second or two, but I made sure I re-engaged through that midline before I went to release the other arm. Enjoy this workout, guys. Have fun with it. Stay safe upside down. We'll see you for that afterburn.
All right, so if you want 2-minute abs, you'll come to the right place. So we're gonna do 2 minutes of that L-sit hold, guys. I'm gonna show you guys some different variations that you can do. Obviously that L-sit is pretty advanced to do, so we need to use some progressions to build up to it. So for that L-sit, guys, basically what we want to try and do is use those hip flexors, use those lower abs to kind of curl up into that V shape. So to start off, we can start off in our leg raise position with our hands back, and we can come up for that leg lift, so keeping both legs straight, holding this position. See if that's challenging. If this is challenging, use this progression for your L-sit today. If you want to challenge it a little bit more, obviously bring those hands a little bit closer, lift up. You guys can use that as a progression for your L-sit. So if you feel comfortable there, you can do those progressions. And you feel comfortable with the supporting with your body, you guys can, again, you don't have to use parallettes here. You guys can use chairs or any two supports. Make sure they're not moving or they won't get out on you. So find those supports. To start off, you guys can go into that knee tuck position, so you don't have to go with your legs completely straight. So lock out those elbows, make sure you get good support on those PVC pipes, or sorry, the parallettes. Lift those knees up, keep the knees close, and then see how that is. If you find that's challenging, let's just stick to that progression today. If you find it's hard to hold for about the 10 to 15 second range, or even less, that's a good progression to work on. If you feel comfortable, you can start raising just one leg out in front, keep the opposite bent. That's one progression to work on to start to get to that full L-sit. Biggest thing here, guys, if you even start to build up to that full L-sit, make sure you're really pushing into those parallettes and staying locked. Sometimes you start bending at the elbows and losing that stability. You really want to focus on the core and those hip flexors to pull those legs up. So again, once we're in that position, staying nice and tight, pushing hard on those parallettes. 2 minutes, guys. Hopefully you guys get your abs after these 2 minutes. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the